Okay, G, right, Bismillah, right. Okay, folks, welcome back. We are looking at Mathematics A paper. These particular questions are all trigonometry questions, only examination style. We'll have trigonometry questions in there, Sokotowa, some Pythagoras theorem questions in there as well. We should have hopefully sine rule questions, cosine rule questions, and also area questions. So be ready for all of that kind of stuff now. Here we go. Question number 1. So we have, this is based on the EDEXCEL 1MAO syllabus on the calculated questions. ABC is a right angle triangle, so they've given that bit away at the beginning of the question. ABC. And BC is 6 centimeters. The line BD bisects. Now that's a key word there. The word bisects means it cuts it exactly in half. Okay, so that word there means something. That means this 90 degrees angle over here is actually, what's that there? We have 45 and 45. But I think we only need this one over here for the moment. So that's 45 degrees at the moment. Okay? So by reading the information, we can fill in that part of the information. Because now write down the value of tan x. Okay. Let's do up here. Tan. Tan is which identity? Tau. Okay. This, I don't know why we're not getting very smooth pen movement of this. Okay, now if we want to work out the tan of something, so if we cover up the tan, remember the technique, we cover the tan up with our finger over here, and we say we want to work out the tan of something, what's it equal to? It's equal to O over A. So we can, I'm actually going to work it out over here for a moment. So we say tan of the angle that we're concerned with. What's the angle that we're concerned with? Tan of x. No, this one here. So tan of this angle x is equal to O over A. So that's first of all what the tan identity is. So what we need to do before we start putting values in, we need to start labeling the diagram. So opposite this angle here, what do you call that? Opposite. Okay. And opposite the right angle, what do we have?
H.
Okay, excellent. Is the, whoops, is the hypotenuse, oh, what's happening? Okay, that's weird. What's labeled here? Hypotenuse. So the leftover side has to be the adjacent. Now the adjacent is equal to 6 and the opposite is equal to 18. So the tan of the x is equal to O over A. So the O is 18. So it's 18 divided by the 6, which is the A value. So 18 divided by 6 is equal to 3. They said work out the value of tan x, not x. This is quite a unique style of question where they actually tan x, which is exactly that. So tan x is equal to what? It is equal to 3. And that's it. It's done. What they've asked you, we've answered that particular question. We don't need to work out x at the moment. So over here, we can put in...
So don't you do tan minus 1?
No, you don't. Because they've asked you to work out the value of tan x. That's a unique style of question. They haven't asked you to work out the value of x.
Oh.
What is tan x? So exactly what we see is the answer. Okay. Alright, let's try to get the pen back. I'm getting a hand. No. Right. Alright, we're getting pen and hand. Okay, same here, pen and then hand. Okay, right, I think we okay, we'll just do the answer on this side for the moment. So the answer for this question is 3. I can't write over there by the moment. We have to come up with some kind of solution for this in a bit. Okay, calculate the length of BD. Now, we need to work out the length of BD. Would it be nice if we knew what angle X is first of all, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's work out angle X. Okay, let's load up our calculator. Can you get calculator up, please, folks? Now it's important that your angle mode is set to what? Degrees, not radians. So this is by default set in radians. I've set it each time to degrees. Okay? Yours already is in degrees. So make sure it's not radian. Make sure it's not in radian, because then your answer will go to the moon. Okay, that's ready now. So we want to work out the value of x. Now what do we do? If you want to work out the value of x, okay, I'm gonna have to work on. I can't work on this part of the paper for some reason. It's giving me some. I'm having some problem, technical problem, because the pen's turning into a hand. Allah Akbar. Never mind. We have to deal with it. Okay, so x now. Now we do what you said earlier. I want to work out x now. So take the tan over. It was a tan. It becomes a tan minus 1.
And the answer's not going to apply.
Okay, hang on a second. Tan minus 1 of what? What's the tan minus 1 of? 3. So we do shift, tan minus 1 of 3. And the answer is, for the first one, 71. Okay, let's, so we got there, so for 71 point, I'm using all the available space I have, sorry about that, folks, I'm writing all over the place, but,
You might put under the B.
under,
B.
looks like I'm needing space there. Just here we go. Just copy up the answer. Now, we need to use that to a certain degree of accuracy in the question. We can't actually use the whole value. I mean, I would not, I don't like rounding it, the question. So actually for me, what I'm going to do, this is mushkila. Okay, right. I think we need to do something, I can't really do that. Okay, so what is the value of x then? So this is the value of x. Now, okay, we need to work out what this side is there. And what do we know now? We know the value of x. I think I'm going to need to redraw the triangle over here and put some measurements back in it. So please bear with me for the moment. Triangle.
Should we round it?
Upside down triangle. Why upside down?
Should we round
No,
it?
don't write it yet. Just use that original value. Okay, no, we want to undo that. Okay. Right, I actually can't write on that side of the paper for some reason. So just bear with me while I do. Okay, right.
Closing it and opening it again.
But we'll have to do that after we've done this question. Try something else. Okay, so this angle here, x angle here, is 71.6 for the moment as our rough answer that we're using. We use the original value. What angle do we have here? This angle here is, what is this angle over here? 45. Can somebody now work out for me this angle over here now? How do you work out that angle? What is that angle going to be? So for that angle, what do? We do 180 degrees in the full triangle. Whoops. 180 minus 45
63.
minus the above answer.
63.
Okay, so this answer here. So what do we get for this one? We get about 63.4, yeah, regardless if we round it or not. So 63.4. Now, what else do we know on this diagram? We also know the value of the bottom part, which is 6. And what do we need to work out? We need to work out which side? BD. Where's BD in the diagram? BD is where? BD is where, folks? This is BD. Now, so this is like a question within a question. We got a right angle triangle and we got to work out that side there. So any ideas on how what are we going to use in this particular smaller triangle to work out BD? Not you, please. Anybody else?
Angle ADC. That's 63, so you're going to find out what angle is straight on the line. So it's 180, so you go 180 minus 64. Should give you the inside of the triangle. You got the ones.
Oh, you're thinking about it as a similar triangles? Okay, no, this is not a similar triangles in that sense, no. It's not similar triangles. What type of question are we talking about for here, for this question here? Any other suggestions?
Sine rule.
Sine rule, correct. So we know this angle here. We got to work out its corresponding length, and that's one dumbbell. And then we are going to, we know this angle here, and we know its corresponding side. So we're absolutely using sine rule, and we got to work out this length. We can call this length, if you want to, you can call it little a. So that becomes big A. And we can call this angle here big B, and that becomes the little b. Just labeling the diagram so it makes sense. So we come to this formula. A over sine of A is equal to B over sine of, what's this, Abdullah? Sine of big B. Okay, now, out of those four things, Abdullah, how many things do we know? Do you know little a?
No.
No. So put a little cross there. Do we know big A?
Yeah.
Yes, it's over here. Do we know little b?
Yeah.
It's over here, we know it. Do we know big B?
Yeah.
Yes, we know it. So what do we want to work out then from this diagram formula?
Yeah.
Little a. Now, opposite of dividing by sine A on the left hand side is to take it to the right hand side. Okay. Opposite divided by sine A is to multiply by sine A. Okay, we're having some emotional issues with the software, the hardware. So the software is going crazy. Because I don't know much, I don't know, make it work for us, please. Sine A. Okay, let's rewrite it now. So the little a is equal to b multiplied by the sine of big A. I don't want anybody shouting out any answers at the moment. I'm going to go through this nice and slowly. Divided by the sine of the b value. Now what do? We put in the values now. So what was the little b value? The little b value is 6. And the big A value is equal to 71. I'm going to put the original value in 71.5650. Oops, and I've missed out the sign. And I've lost the pen. So sine of that, sorry, I missed the sign out. Divided by the sine of the big B. And the big B is 63.4. Okay. Now what we need to do, we need to get a calculator back. And we need to now put this calculation as you see it exactly there, put in the calculator. So we start with the fraction bottom. And we type in 6 multiplied by sine. Some of you automatically get a bracket. So it's 71.56505. Just put in a couple of decimal places, I'll do for the moment. From above, it's over here at the moment. Just copy down 56505. Okay, close that. Bring it down, bring the cursor down. And then we'll do sine of 63.4. Sine of sin, you want to call it 63.43494. Just copying from above. Close the bracket, equals. So the little a we get is that 6.36396, and we need to give it to 2 decimal places. So let's grab a pen. Okay, I'll have to squeeze at the bottom here. So we say A is equal to 6.36 centimeters to 2 dp. So that is the answer from here, from the calculator. So if you round off 2 decimal places, that number, next number is less than 5, so we leave at 6.36. And that is the answer for question number 1. It was a bit long-winded, folks, but that's the start of the examination question. And they're not going to give you 6 marks for doing nothing. This question, folks, number 1, is worth 6 juicy marks. So it's worth quite a bit. So it's worth the effort to put in to get those 6 marks. Okay, are we happy with that? Yeah? Let's pause. Okay, question number 2 is, here is a right angle triangle. Okay, diagram not accurately drawn, so don't start measuring the angles, that's what it means. Calculate the size of the angle marked X, give your answer correct to 1 dp. So let's first of all quickly label the diagram. So we say opposite the angle is called the opposite. And opposite the hypotenuse, opposite the right angle is always the hypotenuse. And the leftover side has to be the adjacent. Okay, folks, I need you to answer the question. I'm asking questions, I'm answering them myself. Opposite the angle is called the
Opposite.
and opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, and the leftover side has to be the adjacent. Now, if you look at this particular question, this question involves the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So we say it is what kind of question? A cat question. So So we have an sound there. So that's going to be which ratio? The cos ratio. Okay. So we just set up the cat over here. Okay. Now we want to work out the angle. If you want to work out the angle is this part here. We don't know that part. We know the A and we know the H. So we're going to cover this up with our finger and then see what we have left with. So we can say now, so the cos of the angle, actually the angle is actually X, we can replace the theta with X, is equal to the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. Every time you open the door, okay, so A over H. But the thing is, in this particular question, we don't want to work cos of the angle. We want to work out the angle, which is X. So we take the cos over now. So we say the X value will be equal to cos minus 1 of the A over H. Lovely. So that will give you what? So X is equal to cos minus 1 what is the A value? 5.5 and the H value is 8. Okay, now we need to put this into our calculator, and I wonder if my calculator is gone. That's the wrong one. So I had that done. Okay, menu, yes, shift, menu, math, radians, should be degrees. Good, done. Okay, so you press shift, cos. Now you're going to put brackets, and then you press the fraction button. And as we see it, we type it in. 5.5 plus the replay, bring it down the bottom is 8. Replay and close the bracket. Okay, now let me show you the value I've got here. So we got 46.567. So, and the question says due to 1 decimal place. So if you do this 1 decimal place, you have to stop here. This becomes my last digit. This is the decider digit. So this is 5 or more. So we add 1. So the final answer is 46.6 and degrees is already there. That's done. Lovely. Right. Are we ready for the next part of the question? Yeah? Now, for the next question, here's another right angle triangle. Calculate the value of y. Give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So the first question part was worth 3 marks. This is also worth 3 marks. Now what do we do here now? Saf, lead me through it. What do we do? We first will start with the angle. We go opposite the angle. This side is called the opposite. And then we say opposite the right angle is always called the hypotenuse. And the leftover side is then always going to be the adjacent. That's labeled last. Now this particular question, if you look at it, it is between the adjacent, which we know, and the opposite, which we want to work out. And we also know an angle. So it's got an O and an A. What sound is an O and an A make? Tova. So we have an O and an A over, which is the first part of the Tova. So we're going to have a tangent, the tan one. So tan of the angle is equal to the O over the A. This is our little triangle formula that we use from the triangle to help us work it out. Now we want to work out the O. So where we see the O, we put a little cross because we don't know what it is. Do we know what the angle is, Abdullah?
Yes.
Okay, do you know what the A is?
Yep.
Yes. So we cover up the O with our finger. There's our finger coming onto it. Okay, there's the fingernail. So what is the O then? Let's have Hamza. So O, according to this triangle, is equal to what? O is equal to the tan of the angle. Tan of the angle multiplied by the adjacent. Okay. What is the angle in the question, Harun? Harun, in this question, the angle is? So tan of 40. And then we're going to multiply that answer by the A value, which is 12. And that will give you the O value. So let's do on the calculator now. We just type this in. So we have tan brackets 40 close brackets times by 12 equals. Okay, right, let's write that answer down. So the calculator is giving me something like this: 10.0691 blah 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 blah. And we've been told to give it to how many decimal places? 1. So 1 decimal places will be. So we look at the 6 because it's more than 5 or more. We add 1 to this one. So the final answer will be 10.1. 10.1 centimeters to 1 decimal place. And that's the end of that particular question. The question, let's go through it now. Right, let's get back to this question. So what do we do first of all? It says angle. They want you to work at angle RPQ. RPQ. So the angle in the middle. This one here. Now this is the angle they want you to work at. So opposite the angle they want you to work at is called the opposite. Opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse, and the leftover side has to be called the adjacent. Now this question is between the adjacent and the opposite. So what sound does that make when you talk about O and A? It makes what sound? Over. So over, we put the T back in front of it. So we're talking about the tangent ratio here. Okay, let's quickly set up the little triangle for ourselves so we get it right. We know when we're dividing or multiplying. Okay. Now, what do we want to work out? We want to work out this angle here. This angle is the theta part here, the angle here. So, angle that we don't know is called, so we don't know this, we do know this, and we do know this. So we want to cover this up with our thumb, finger. So we can say now the tan of the angle is equal to O over A. Come on folks, some of you guys are working at a very lethargic speed. You need to be cracking through this question. We've been doing nothing but these questions for the last couple of weeks. So you guys, depending on how much work you've been doing for homework, should be absolutely hammering these questions.
It would be tan minus 1.
That's right. So the angle is equal to?
Tan minus 1. And in the brackets it would be 3 over 10.
Okay, it's O over A always, yeah, we could just put that straight in, miss one step. 3 over 10.
And now I got 16.699.
Let's just try this. Shift, tan minus 1, brackets, fraction, 3, replay 10. Oops, that's not 10, that's 10. Go up, close bracket, equal. Okay, now, the answer that we get from the calculator, which is over here, is
16.699.
16.699. And the question goes, give it to 3 significant figures. So who can remember significant figures? Significant figures starts from where?
From the
Beginning.
yeah.
The first non-zero digit. 1, 2, 3. So they want you to do to 3 one decimal place in a sense. Last digit, that's the decider. Decider is 5 or more. Add 1 to the last digit. So 16.6 becomes 16.7. So the angle is going to be 16.7 degrees to 3 significant figures. And that question, that 3-mark question is finished. Okay, question number 4 says ABC is a right angle triangle. AB is 7, BC is 8.5. Work out the area of the triangle. This is a nice easy one for us to do. So what do we say? We say area of a right angle triangle is equal to what? Base times by height divided by 2. So now what we need to do, put the values in there instead now. So your base is here and your height is here. It doesn't really matter which order you put them in. So that's 8.5 multiplied by 7 divided by 2, and that will give us an answer of
79.75.
okay, let's put the answer down. So we say area, okay, and they haven't given us any specific accuracy, so we're going to give it just the full answer. 29.75 centimeters squared. Lovely. Done. Okay. The next part of the question, I will read it out to you, because if I move it up, we'll lose the actual question. It says, work out the length of AC. For the next part of the question, okay, let's get a rubber first of all. We need to work out, it says AC. Where's AC? There. So I'll do the working on one side over here. Now if I want to work out AC of this right angle triangle, what rule do we use? We say we use Pythagoras theorem. We want to work out AC. So we say AC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared. Is that right? Yeah, so Pythagoras theorem, this hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the other two sides squared. So now we can start putting some values in there. So now we don't want AC squared, we want to work out AC. So we take the squared over, it becomes a square root. So straight away we can say A to C equals the square root
AB squared.
of AB squared, whatever was above, copy down, AB squared plus BC squared. Now we can start putting the values in there, and then we can throw it into the calculator, and that'll be a nice, easy question done. So what are the values? So AB, what is AB? AB is this one here, which is 7 squared. And then BC is this one here, which is 8.5 squared. So we put that into the calculator. Alright, let's get our calculator. Okay, so we have now the square root. So we press shift. Where's square root on this thing? Shift, square root. Okay, we have 7 squared. And then we add to that 8.5 squared equals, okay, what do we get? $11.011, and they wanted, they said they wanted 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal places will be the answer.
11.01.
11.01 centimeters. And that's the 2 decimal places. 11.01 centimeters. Done. Nice straightforward question involving Pythagoras theorem and involving just area formula. So that was nice and easy question there. Okay. That's all done. Okay, so which question are we on now? Okay, this question is question number, is this on the same one? Okay, this next question is another question we've got to work out an angle similar to what we've done before. The 40 and 32. What kind of question is this? We need to start moving to the sine rule questions now as well.
That's base times height divided by 2?
Yeah, this question is a nice straightforward one. Has anybody done this question so far?
Yeah.
300 people done this question. Okay, what's the answer for this one?
I got 33.7.
33.7 is absolutely correct. It uses the tan ratios opposite. You have to use inverse tan on 32 over 48. That's just a quick review of how you would do that. Okay. So the angle Y will be equal to tan minus 1 half 32 over 48, and the answer to one decimal place will give you 33.7, because the original answer was 33.690. So that is your answer for that one. Done. Okay, work at the area of this triangle similar to the one we've done before. That's also similar. Okay, who's done the answer to the next question? Okay. Let's go to answers then. I'll give you the answer for the first. We can work out when you go home. Okay, it's a similar question. So this one's going to be what?
That's 48.
48.
Hold on, so I'm working out the next one.
Goes work out the length of AB. That's Pythagoras theorem again.
It's 17.0. No,
So to two decimal places, it's going to be what? 17.09 is the answer for part B. That's part A for that question. So you have those answers to check when you have a go at the question, okay? Similar to what we've just done. So we're not going to hang about on this question. Okay, number 6. Again, similar style question. Okay. I'm just going to give you the answer for this one. You can actually try this in a bit if you haven't done it. Who's done this question number 6 so far? Okay, everybody have a go at number 6 now. Okay? And while you have a go at it, I'll have a go at it here as well. Okay, everybody have a go at question number 6. When you have a go at question number 6, I'll actually switch out the projector so you can't see me working on it. We'll break for in a bit, inshallah, for Maghrib, and then you'll have your break then. In a bit, no, I'll give you time to do that. Oh.
Did you get 9.54?
Wow. Let's do like.
Did you cause 24?
Come on, ladies, don't give it away. The answer. H. A. So what do we know? We know the hypotenuse, and we know the angle. And we want to work out the length of AB. Good, if you've done it.
Oh no, I think this is close. This is area.
Okay, so the question is between A.
So finished.
Good. So the question is an question, which becomes a cause question. Samara, do you know what you're doing, Samara? If you know what you're doing, that's good. If you don't know what you're doing, don't ask them, they don't know what they're doing. Come on, Abdullah. Come on, Hamza. My little chicken flockets. It doesn't matter if it's easy or so. What's your problem with easy?
Not that one, What about something else?
The next one. The next question.
So A is equal to
It's one then.
the cos of the angle multiply by the hypotenuse.
Yeah, but you only have the
You don't have the name yet.
Okay, so A is equal to
No, it's got to be a right angle.
cos of
So it's gonna be
58.
It's got to be. You might be the cause.
Multiply that by 18. Put that in the calculator. And the calculator comes up with. Okay, ladies, what do you get for that answer?
9.54.
9.539, which you round it off to. So your final answer for the adjacent, which is actually AB. Remember the A is adjacent, yeah? So the final answer will be 9.54. That's excellent answers, ladies. 9.54 meters. Okay, that's lovely, folks, for number 6. Okay, folks, for this next question, number 7. If we've got a non-right angle triangle and it's given us these values, calculate the area. So, as Samara just pointed out, the area for this non-right angle triangle is equal to, A is equal to half AB sine of C. Now, A and B are these sides over here. In the triangle that's talking about. Okay, it's the side, and then the angle C is the one in the middle. So at the moment, our labeling, this is our general formula, doesn't necessarily match the labeling of our triangle. So if you want to, we could change the labeling to make it match. So we can just literally a little scribble there, and a little scribble there, and a little scribble there. So according to this formula, A and B are the sides, either side of the angle. So we call that A, and we call that little side is equal to B. And the angle in the middle is called the C angle. Now everything matches the formula. Let's put it in. So the area is equal to half time by the little A value, which is 8, time by the little B value, which is 15, time by the sine of. So we need to grab our calculator, which is all over here. Okay, right, let's type that in. So the half you can replace with 0.5 if you want to. So 0.5, we multiply that by 8, then we multiply that by 15, and then we multiply it by the sine of. Okay. And we get an answer of. What's that answer, folks?
55.6.
So we have 55.631. Just those copy of the digits down. It goes give it to 3 significant figures. 3 significant figures means 1, 2, 3. And we've got to stop here. So we look at the 3 because it's less than 5, we leave it alone. So my final answer for the area is equal to 55.6 centimeters squared. And that's us done for that particular question. Just one more time, the numbers.
So how do you do bearing? How do you do the bearing?
Look how you do the bearings.
Did you?
Yeah, for question 8.
Number 19.
6, right?
719.
I've got 26.7.
714. So last starts in about 10 minutes.
So we have us with
Should we just have a break?
question 8.
One break with Salah and then.
Yeah, we'll have a nice big break with this stuff. So we'll have a break. Huh? Yeah, in the long run, let's finish the more work half.
So can you
At 1:15 we'll stop, and we'll have a break for Salah, and then we're going to carry on. I would say from 7:15, we need to go to about 7:30, so we'll have a nice 15-minute break. So
That's, isn't it? 27.
Yeah. Yeah, then we'll do 45 minutes of more advanced questions. Okay? What? Okay, back to the question. First question 8. We need to work out the value of x. So opposite this is the O. And opposite this one is the H, and this bottom one is the A. So this question is between the O and the A. So that will give us what identity? Tower. And we want to work out the angle. So if you cover that up with that. So tan of the angle is O over A. So we say tan of my angle. Okay, what angle are we trying to work out? We're trying to work out angle x. So tan of x is equal to the opposite. What is the opposite? 2.3. Just put the values in, saving some time. Divided by the adjacent. What is the adjacent on the question? What is it? 4.6. Give me the values because I'm asking for the values. It's like I'm teaching myself. Okay, I want to work out x, so I take the tan over. So we say that x is equal to tan minus 1 of what? Of all of this. I'm just going to put an arrow down here. Now let's put that into the calculator. X is equal to, and let's bring the calculator over. So what do? We say shift tan minus 1 brackets fraction 2.3. Whoa. 2.3. Replay, bring it to the bottom. 4.6. Bring the replay to the top. Close the bracket. Equals. So what's the value of x now? You've got 26.5650. And if you give the answer to one decimal place as they've asked, so it'll become 26 point.
Is it 3 significant figures?
Pardon me, 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3. So we end up in the same place, but that's right, 3 significant figures. So it'll be 26 point. What is the answer going to be? 26.6. So that's the value of x. I'm going to go over there in white because that doesn't look very clear. Oh, that looks nice and lovely. Okay, so we have worked out the value of x. Now we've got to work out the bearing of town C from town A. Let's have a look. And then, okay, no, that doesn't look good. Okay, we've lost part of the question. Okay. Bearing of town C from town A. So which part of the diagram are we looking at? Bearing of C from A. So we've got to work out this angle here. Because all bearings are measured from north. And it says of town C from town A. So we've got to start here. And we've got to go towards the C. Now, if we know the x value is 26.6, is that right? So this is 26.6. Now, we want to work out this angle first, and from there we can work out, isn't it? Okay, so let's have a look. What we're going to do first of all, so we can say 180 degrees minus, okay, what angle is this here?
90.
90. And then what do we minus next after that? 26.6. Okay, done? For that one, what's that give us?
It gives you
60?
63.4.
63.4. Now, if I want to work out this angle outside, what do we do next? We do, because the angle's at a point on the straight line is 180, again, so we do 180 again, minus the 63 point,
16.6.
and the answer here will be 116.6, and it says here, give your answer to 3 significant figures, and that actual answer is how many significant figures? Has 4 significant figures. Okay, so there's a mistake there in the way that you give me the answer. Well, let's work this out. So we have 116.6 over here. That's not my answer, by the way. That's a mistake also in the mark scheme as well. So let's just edit that and then we'll break. 116.6. Now if you do that to 3 significant figures, so 1, 2, 3, and stop there. So the final answer would be 1, 1, and stop for 3 significant figures. And that is the end of question number 8. And that question is worth altogether 7 marks in the examination. So no, 3, sorry, pardon me, 4. 3 for the top one, 1 for the bottom. Sorry about that. I thought it was 3 and 4. Okay, we're going to pause it here, have a prayer break, and come back after Salat al-Maghrib. And inshallah we'll read the question next one. I'm recording now, folks, okay? Right. Now, this, we know all of the sides. If we know all of the sides, and we've got to work out this angle over here, we have to use the cosine rule. So the cosine rule is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos. Mr. Saf, can we keep our hands to ourselves, please, yeah? Lovely. Now, lovely. If you keep our hands to ourselves, that's very nice. So this is going to be our little a. Our diagram is actually in good condition. We don't need to relabel it. Big B, little b, big C, little c for the okay. Now we want to work out this angle here, which is the A angle, which is here. So we need to rearrange the equation and make cos A first of all the subject. So we have now on this side A squared, opposite of B squared, adding B squared is minus B squared. Opposite adding C squared is minus C squared. And then opposite of the multiplying, don't forget this is the multiply here. Opposite multiplying by minus 2bc is dividing by minus 2bc. And that will give us cos of A. Okay, let's put the values in now. What is the value of little a? And what's the value of above? We missed one thing. We're going to move the cos over now. So opposite of cos A is, what do you on the side? Cos to the minus 1. So cos, ladies, have you done this so far? Minus 1 A squared minus the B squared. What's B squared? 9 squared. C squared is minus squared. And then we divide it all by minus 2 times by the B value times by the C value. And that will give us the value of big A, the angle. So we've got to work out side angle BAC, which is that one. Now, put all of this in the calculator and then that should be it. So, shift cos minus 1. We put brackets, fraction, 15 squared minus 9 squared minus 11 squared. Replay, bring the cursor down. So we use a little baby minus now, the little baby minus over here at the bottom in the brackets. Minus 2 times by 9 times by 11. Bring the cursor back up. Close the brackets and then press equal. And that gives us an answer of 96.6706 blah 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 equals the A. We have to round that off to how many decimal places? 1. So here's the first decimal place. We look at the next number. Because it's 5 or more, you add 1. So our final answer is 96.7 is the answer for the angle A. That's question 10. You got that down, Saf? Done it? All good? Excellent. Right, question number 11. In order for us to work out the length of CD, which is this one here, from here to. So in order for us to work out this length here, in this particular right angle triangle, how do we know it's a right angle triangle? Because there's a right angle here. So that means there's a right angle on the side, straight line. Okay? This is a right angle triangle. This is 48. We want to work out this. We don't have any other sides. That's no good. So in order for us to work out this length here, we need to have at least this little side here. So what I want you to do is look at this triangle here. This is a right angle triangle. And I want you to work out this length here first. Now, okay, let's have a look. Let's look at this triangle here. So that's 7, that's 3, and we're going to work out CB. This one here. Okay, we're going to work out the CB, which is the height. We'll recycle that for the second part of the question. So, we want to work out CB is right angle triangle. What do we do here now? We use Pythagoras theorem. So we say the hypotenuse squared is equal to the other sum of the other two sides squared. So it's 3 squared add CB squared.
Why is it odd? You're working out the thing.
That's the formula. The formula is the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the other two sides squared. That's the basic formula. So I'm going to rearrange it now, yeah. So I want to work out the CB. Okay. So the opposite of adding 3 squared is, so 7 squared minus 3 squared, first of all. And then opposite of squared is square root. So we do square root of all that. Whoa. That looks really funky. I'll just do it again over here. That looks way too much, that is. What's going on here? I'm having difficulties in trying to draw it properly. Give me 1 second, folks.
Is it square root?
Yes. Sorry, folks, just making a little bit of a mess of that. I'll try it again. Third time, inshallah, we should be better. So it should be 7 squared minus 3 squared. Okay, that's better. A little bit better. That's square root fine. Equals to CB. So we put that into the calculator to work it out. Okay. Now, what do we get for that?
6.3245.
So in the calculator, this will give us an answer of
6.325. 3245.
6.32. 3245, yeah? Okay. 6.3245.
So you can't see anything.
You can't see the green one?
No.
Okay, I'll do it on top of that
Put a
one.
highlight on it. Yellow.
No, I'll just do it white.
Just highlight it yellow.
6.3245. Okay. That will do for the moment. Now that we know this length here, what is this length? 6.3. I'll just write down 6.3245. I like to keep my original numbers as original as possible. Now we're going to work at the yellow side here now. Okay, now we know this length here, we can work at that side. Okay, let's draw this triangle out. So here's our 90. Here's the length that we just worked out over here. Okay, folks, can you write this down? Some of you look like you're exhausted, you're about to collapse, fall down on the table. Okay, folks, can you please focus on the questions? 48. Okay, and we got to work out this length over here.
Why do you round it to 6.3?
Because we get rounding errors. So I'm going to reuse that number again in the next part calculation. This question doesn't finish it. That's the answer. I like to leave it as it is.
So if you round it, it's wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong, but you can make errors in front of the question. You can be out.
Oh,
Because that's not the answer to the question. The answer's over here. You're going to use this to work out the answer. If you start rounding off your first part, you get errors that creep into thingy. It's called rounding errors. Okay, so to be correct, it's best to use the original value. Okay, so we're going to work out this side over here. This side, which is CD. Okay, now. Okay, ladies at the back. Are we doing the question with me, or are we doing it with yourself, or are we doing something completely different?
We're comparing our answers.
Okay, now I need you to do the question with me, please, yeah? Can we focus on task? Okay, right. Opposite angle is the opposite. Opposite right angle is the hypotenuse. Now we want to work at the hypotenuse. So this question is between the O and the H, and that gives us what sound?
So.
Oh, for the moment, we should put the S in front of it, so that gives us saw. Now, what do we know from this? So we know the angle part, and we know the opposite part, and we want to work out the H part. We cover that with our finger. So we can say the H. Okay, can you see the H in red, or is it? Shall I do it in different color?
Do it different colors.
So the H is equal to opposite divided by the sine of the angle. H is equal to the opposite, which is equal to our lovely value, 6.3245. And divide that by sine of 48. Let me grab my calculator. Okay, let's move it across a bit. Right, here we go. So we type in what we see here. So we do, actually let me do shift it off. Brackets, fraction button. So the previous 6.32, excuse me, 3245. Okay, divided by, bring the replay to the bottom, sine of 48. And that's it, should be for H. And that gives us an answer of, so the H value, so the hypotenuse, which was CD, we can replace the H with the CD now. So CD is equal to 8.51. Now they want to give us the three significant figures. So 8.51, first, second, third. The 0 is less than 5, so you leave it alone. So the final answer is 8.51. Okay. 8.51 to three significant figures. Now, there's a mistake in the mark scheme. For those of you who have downloaded the mark scheme, what they've done, they've rounded off this original value, which I didn't, and they've actually got rounding in their answer. They've got 8.50, because they use 6.32, not 6.3245, the more bigger value. So we get 8.51, which should be the correct answer for this particular question. And that is right to three significant figures. And that is the end of the part A. We have now got to work out part B. Okay. Right, I'm going to rub off some of this stuff because I don't think we need it anymore. So calculate the length of CE. Okay.
So was that for part A?
That's only part A, yes.
I thought it was for part B.
And that was all for part A only. Two parts of the question. Okay, because next part is calculate the length of CE. Give your answers now. Where's CE? Well, we've just worked out this value here as well. Let's label the diagram. So this is 8.51. Okay, three significant figures. Now, what was this? Now, this is 8.51. This is 19. And now these two angles add up to 90, isn't it? Is that right? These two angles add up to 90. So what's the missing angle here? This missing angle is, what is it? 42 degrees. Okay, hang on 1 second. Back to this question. I've copied out this triangle here. So this triangle is over here now. So 8.51 is here. The 42 angle is there and the 19 is there. And we've got to work out this missing length of here. Now, because you know the angle and the side, either side of it, which rule do we use? Which rule do we use, folks? Cosine rule. Cosine rule. Okay, what's the cosine rule? A squared equals to B squared plus C squared minus 2 BC cos of A. Now the A is always the angle they're trying to work out, so if we call this A, so we relabel the diagram, this is called this A, this would be a little a. And these, you can label them in any order as little b and little c. The order of these two doesn't matter. Okay. And that's, now we need to work out this a here, which is here. But we don't want a squared. What do we want?
A.
A. So what do we do with the squared?
Get rid of it.
Take it over. You can't just get rid of it. Opposite squaring on this side is to square root that square. So we can now say that A is equal to the square root of all that. Let's put the values in, folks. Let's go for it. So what's B? B value is 19. So we do 19 squared, and then we add to that 8.51 squared. And then minus that 2 times by the B value, which is 19, times by the C value, which is 8.51. Then we change to a different color because we brought it from our space.
So does that say plus 8.51 squared?
Yes. And then we multiply that by cos of (42). So we're going to put all that into the calculator now. Okay. We got the ghost again. Okay, let's put the value in. It looks a bit curved. So we do square root, shift, square root, 19 squared, add 8.51 squared, minus, take away 2 times by 19.
Do you put brackets inside?
It shouldn't matter. You can put them in if you like. Time by 19. What's the next value, folks? I've lost my number. What is it?
8.5. 8.5.
2 times by 19 times by
8.51.
then time by cos. Okay. Right, so we get an answer now of, the calculator told us it was 13, was 8.89, wasn't it? 896. It said give it correct to 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, stop, look at the next number, 5 and more, add 1. So the final answer for this one would be 13.9 centimeters. Okay, that one's done. Say that again. Can the answer be 13.90? The answer, that would be wrong. Because 3 significant figures, so you must stop at the 9. That would be incorrect. Okay, this is the next examination question. Sorry, I can't find the original PDF file. I've just drawn it up. Question number 19. We've got to work out the area of this triangle. And to work out the area of the triangle, what do we need? We need to know this length here and this length here, and we need to know this angle. Because the area is equal to half A B sine C. So to work out the area of a non-right angle triangle, we need to work out the two lengths either side of the angle in between. That's what I was talking about. So the C will correspond to this part here. And that would be, for example, the little a value, and that would be the little b value, for example. Now, we need to work this out. In order for us to work out the area, we need to work out both of these lengths. So let's have a look how we're going to do that. Now, what do we know already from here, this question? We know this angle here, and we know its corresponding length. We know this length here, and we could work out its corresponding angle. Once we work out this one, we will know that one. When we know that one, we can work out this one. This is like a multiple stage question. So, we are going to work out this angle here first. Then we're going to, from knowing these triangles, we're going to work out this angle next. Then when we know this one, we can work out this angle. So this length. So it's like a multiple step question. It's a goal problem. So let's do it now. So let's have a look. So if I call this big A, that's my little a. This is my big C and little c. So what do we say? We say, so don't we want to work at the angle, isn't it? So we say sine of big A. Okay, remember this is the A of the actual alphabet, not the A that anything else. I'll divide by little a divided by sine of big C over little c. Right, we need to work out, what do we need to work out? We need to work out this. And we know this, and we know that, and we know this. So how do we work out the A? So opposite divide by A is by A. Opposite of sine of something is inverse sine. So we say A is equal to sine minus 1 of A times by the sine of big C divided by little c. All of that. That's the first step. Put the values in. So our A, which is here, is equal to sine to the minus 1 of little a, which is 5, multiplied by the sine of big C. So the sin of 40. Divide that by the little c, which is 6. Put that all in the calculator. So, shift, sin minus 1. We have brackets, fractions. Fraction 5 multiplied by sin of 40. 6, replay, close bracket, equals. So A is equal to, okay, folks, my calculator disappeared. What do you get?
32.38.
32.3884, yeah?
0.388.
Leave that.
That's it.
That's just one part of the question. We worked out this, now we can work out the angle over there. Okay, let's work out this angle here, the missing angle. So for that next part here, we do 180 degrees minus the 40 that we already know, which is over here, minus the angle that we've just worked out now. And that will give you this angle here, which is big B. Okay. So we get a calculator out.
107.612.
So we do 180 minus 40, and then we minus the above answer. Shift answer equals. So what's the angle for what's B equal to then?
107.612.
107.611. Yeah. You got the same answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read it out to me, please? 107.611. Okay. Any more?
5, 6.
Okay. I'll do for the moment. Okay, so we've done this angle, we worked out that angle, now we can actually work out the little b. Using what?
The big B.
Using sine rule again. That's right.
Can't you just do them 2 sides with that angle at the top? Because don't you just need 2 sides to reflect the area?
We need two sides, actually, now that we know b, you know b, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we can miss that bomb if we start using that one instead. That's even better. Okay, let's do that instead. So we're going to have here area is equal to half AB sin of C. That's the general formula. Now what does that correspond to? That corresponds to an angle and the two sides. This angle here is 107.61. So we use this instead. So it's half times by the length on either side, 5 times by 6 times by the sin of the angle in between, which is 107.6 blah blah blah, which we got above there. So we grab the calculator and we do half, which is 0.5, multiply by 5, multiply by 6, 0.5 times by 5 times by 6, times by the sin of the previous answer. Shift answer.
14.297.
So the area will be equal to 14.2969. Yeah. Okay. And we give that, for example, this area. What's the how many significant figures did I ask you?
3.
3.
3.3.
So the final answer is 14.3 centimeters squared. The 3 significant figure is the area. 1, 2, 3 significant figures. That's 5 or more. Add 1, and that's that multiple stage question. And that's another question.
Do just to get the answer.
That's right. How many marks was that question?
6.
6 marks. It's a 6-mark question.
More.